Call the meeting to order. Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting was forwarded to the official township newspapers, posted on the bulletin board and township website on January 2nd, 2020. This meeting is being videotaped and will be on Channel 9.
Roll call.
Mrs. Flame?
Here.
Mr. Deegan?
Here.
Mr. Doyle?
Here.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Here.
Mayor Bruno?
Here. All right, can I get a motion to go in the first public portion for resolutions and ordinances below?
Make a motion for first public portion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to come forward? You were reading, all right.
I know you just love me over here. Renee Pastoy, Leah Party. R120, R139-20, emergency temporary budget. Again?
Sure.
It seems like this is a pattern. We've been going through this
It is.
all year.
What it is, Renee, is that we only put X amount of money in the budget into the various accounts until the budget is passed. We'll be voting on the budget on September the 29th, now that we got everything okay with the state and so forth. So we need to just fund some of the accounts.
Okay, so you're doing a temporary budget to move money from one account to another account?
No? Go ahead, John.
It's just putting more money into the appropriation,
And where's the money coming from?
from nowhere. It's,
I want that.
what it
Get
is
trees?
your initial temporary
down.
budget that you have to do in the first week of January allows you to appropriate 25 point, whatever, 26 and a quarter, or whatever it is, percent of last year's budget. So now, that only gives you so much money to run so far into the budget. So prior to you adopting your budget, your full budget, you have to keep putting money on the appropriations so you can function, pay salaries, pay bills, what have you. And then, once you adopt the full budget, then that
It's in place.
funds you for the entirety of the year. It provides a mechanism to bring in the revenues.
Okay, so I see here where you want to do the taxes also. To do 137-20 for your average? And what is the reason behind that? They didn't pay them. You gotta pay them. I don't get a break.
You want to explain that to her?
Yeah.
When you calculate your reserve for uncollected taxes, normally you're only allowed to use the collection rate of the previous year. You had a bad year, the state allows you to take the last 3 years' collection rate and take an average and use that in calculating the reserve for uncollected taxes.
Well, we have employees that don't even pay their taxes, but we have to so they can get paid.
That wasn't,
What'd you
that wasn't a resolution or ordinance below.
It's just about the taxes.
Can I get a motion to, I'm sorry, not seeing anyone else? Can I get a motion to close first public portion?
Make a motion to close.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve correspondence and reports?
Make a motion to approve correspondence and reports.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get to approve the minutes? Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from September 8th, 2020?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from September 8th.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the bill list?
Make a motion to approve the bill list.
I'm going to second, but I'd like to excuse myself from the Franklin alarm line. Recuse, I'm sorry. Excuse, recuse.
That
kind
works
of
both ways.
works
It's just a
both
letter, right?
ways.
It's one letter.
Being picky.
Barb?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes, but of course with the recusal.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes, so you couldn't say excuse me.
I was going to bring up the word last week that you couldn't pronounce.
John, do you have anything on this trade report? Thank you. Tim, you have something?
I want to make a motion to appoint the members of the Diversity and Inclusion Advisory Committee.
You want to make a motion, I'll second it.
All right.
Would you like to read the names, or that's not necessary?
Yep, I can read the names.
Yes,
Please.
please do.
Okay, the names are, excuse me if I pronounce any of them wrong, Cynthia Parker, Renee Leopardi,
You pronounce that wrong.
Beth Caulfield, Richard Gardenhire, Rudy Akins, Marlene Akins, Robert Wyatt, Stephanie Inglesia, Amanda Utrelli, Sarah Harrison, Isaac Jamal Frazier, James Simmons, Shirley Swanson, Soyan
Okay.
Uncow, Sierra Hart, and Brian Zimmer.
All great
Do we have to approve that?
residents.
Just with the,
All in favor.
all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I understood what you
So is that a form of
Just
a
a motion.
resolution?
No, it's
No?
just a motion.
Okay.
It's a mayor appointed.
That's fine.
Well, we'll wait a minute.
Yeah.
Be careful.
All right. Can I get a motion to approve Resolution R 13120, authorizing the CFO to refund an escrow balance in the amount of $321.96 to Cascade Drilling?
Make a motion to approve 13120.
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes,
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve Resolution R 13220, authorizing the tax collector and treasurer to cancel tax sale certificate?
Make a motion for R 13220.
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
yes,
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve R 13320, granting renewal of liquor licenses within the Township of Franklin for 2020 and 21?
Make a motion for R 13320.
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
yes,
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve R 13420, granting junkyard licenses within the Township of Franklin?
Make a motion for R 13420.
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
yes,
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion for Resolution R 13520, authorizing the tax collector and chief financial officer to cancel R 12820?
I make a motion for R 13520.
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
yes,
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion for Resolution R 13620, authorizing a closed session for the Township Committee?
I make a motion for R 13620.
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
yes. Is that going to be negotiating and personnel? What are the topics? I think in reading the agenda.
Negotiations pending litigation and personnel.
Okay, thank you. And I'm a yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion for R 13720 to utilize the 3-year tax average method for computing the reserve for uncollected taxes?
I make a motion for R 13720.
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes,
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion for R 13820, authorizing the Township Committee to enter an agreement to provide one school resource officer for Franklin Township School District for the 2020-21 school year?
Make a motion for R 13820.
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
yes,
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion for Resolution R 13920
Make a
To-
motion. Sorry.
for the emergency temporary budget?
Paused.
I did not pause.
R 13920.
I'll second.
Mr. Deegan?
Yes,
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion for Resolution R 14020, authorizing the tax collector and chief financial officer to grant tax exemption for a totally disabled veteran?
Can I have a motion for R 14020?
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
yes,
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion for Resolution R 14120, authorizing the tax collector and chief financial officer to refund a tax payment made to redeem a third-party lien that was insufficient to fully redeem the lien?
I make a motion for R 14120?
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
yes,
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion for Resolution R 14220, authorizing the adoption of a corrective action plan?
Make a motion for R 14220?
Second?
Mr. Deegan?
yes,
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to open the second public portion for any comments or questions?
Make a motion for to go into second public portion.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
aye,
Anyone wishing to come forward?
I am smiling underneath of this mask. I see we got some really good consistency going on. So 2 weeks ago, probably about a month ago, after COVID, I came about an employee that just comes and goes as they please it. I gave you over requests that I sent in, and it seems that nothing was done. Last meeting I was here, I said it again, and I was told something was going to be done. Yet, again, open request, and we're still doing the same thing. I don't know about you guys, I can't make my own schedule up. And I don't know how you would function, Tim, if your employees just said, hey, I'm coming in at 6 instead of coming in at 8 because I got this to do. I mean, is that something these are all okay with? I don't hear
Personnel
anything.
matter. Well, we're not going to discuss personnel.
It's not personnel. I
It
brought
is
it to you.
personnel.
It is not. My question to you is this.
Is the person an employee here?
My question to you.
Is the person an employee here?
I'm not talking about a name. I didn't give
I'm
up a
not
name.
talking about, I'm just saying, that you said personnel, you're personnel. So that means they're an employee here, right?
Yes.
The definition of personnel is an employee of the township, correct? We're not going to talk about specific
Okay,
employees
so
of
my
the
question
township.
is it okay for people to make up their regular own schedule? I mean, we got $1 billion business going on here. I don't think, I mean, you're all looking at me like dumbfounded.
my position is that, again, with the COVID crisis and with the students being home, that if we can accommodate an employee of the township to adjust their schedule, I think that's the prudent thing to do. So that's just my personal opinion,
If asked,
if asked.
if asked. Was never asked.
We notified the employees, the Axme employees and all the other ones about, Barb sent the email we got from the GIF, basically telling them if they have issues, how to go about their issues and what they can do to come to work or not come to work and all that. So it's up to them. Right?
And we're not gonna talk about specifics.
No.
Who then?
You're saying, yeah, and you're looking at
Who
her.
then applied?
Huh?
We're not gonna talk about specifics.
I
Who
think
then
our
employees who
intentions are,
applied.
to treat everybody the same as per the handbook, and also give everybody the same opportunity under the COVID guidelines, which seem to be ever changing. That's my intention, not talking about anybody in particular. I think that's everybody's intention.
So are we completely open to the public?
No.
Completely open to the public.
Yeah.
Meaning town
The
hall.
town
town,
hall.
no.
No, not yet?
Nope.
But there's other places that are open, that's what.
No, there are some, and we're keeping an eye on that, but honestly, well, we've had a couple incidents here, and
Oh,
for
I know.
safety of the employees and all that, we're just gonna keep it locked down right now.
Hence two.
I mean, we've had some, you know.
We're not getting
most-
any
most
complaints of
residents are
service.
Very understandable.
Yeah, we're not getting any complaints from people. I haven't had one person complain that they couldn't get something done, so.
They're very good, they're on top of things.
Yeah, so as long as we're taking care of the residents, then
Because you know,
let's
a
keep
little
everybody
building
safe.
like that, somebody gets it, and the whole building's gonna end up with it.
And then we'll have residents
We
that aren't
have a
getting
tax
service.
collector who's high risk, and, you know, we don't want to expose him to anything, or, so. Right now, it's just going to be that way, and hopefully it clears up soon, and we can open it back up.
Yeah, maybe not. And then the other thing that I had brought up, again, is, are we handling it? Are we moving forward with the buildings and the permits and the lies and the, that's what I thought, crickets, it's what, how it happens. Look,
Well,
because
if we were doing something, we wouldn't say it to we wouldn't put it out in the public.
well, let me tell you, as the public, we pay for that. And if
Okay.
you've got someone lying on permits, Mary, you just had something built at your house. Did you have to get a permit for it?
Yes,
Did you have to go out of town?
yes.
Okay. So you had to get a permit. I had to get a permit. Timmy, you have to get a permit. You had to get a permit when you built yours.
all
Did you
the
lie
info-
on your permit?
All the information you gave us, we turned over to the lawyers to ask, what the legal route is. I wasn't at the last meeting, so maybe it was discussed then, I apologize.
I wasn't either. It was like a 5-minute meeting about a budget. All right. Good luck.
Thanks, Renee.
Lou Moffett, 458 Morris Avenue. Just for clarification, CARES Act not only allows people flexibility in their work schedule, but it also requires payment for people, and again, you charge the federal government for these costs, payment for people who need to stay home and educate their children if they so choose. Violation of the CARES Act is a felony, it's federal. So obviously, you need to follow the CARES Act. Now, I don't know who anybody's referring to, nor do I care, but there are provisions that were passed back in end of February, beginning of March, which allow for flexibility within all employers. And you have to follow that. We follow it, I follow it in my business, everyone follows it.
Or were you limited to the amount of time that you could get through the
Yes,
CARES Act?
it's.
And if you didn't use it
It comes
in
under
February or
family.
March,
it
it's
come-
still there?
Yes, it comes under family leave. It's part of the Family Leave Act, okay? In terms of following the Family Leave Act, it all comes under that law, okay? Federally, it's called the CARES Act. In New Jersey, it's Family Leave Act. Part of the CARES Act falls under family leave. And again, New Jersey is more generous in terms of their family leave versus the federal program, okay? So obviously, if you would consult with your HR people, they can point that out to you. I provided John a couple months ago with a printout that I got, which is pretty helpful, so I would suggest you follow that. With regard to keeping the office closed, I think it's a good move. If anyone has kept apprised of what's going on, Gloucester County is the hottest county in the state right now with coronavirus.
That's 'cause of college.
Okay, we're 19.72 per 100,000 of population in Gloucester County, the hottest county in the state. So regardless of what anybody says, what you guys are doing is more than appropriate. You're taking care of your employees as well as the residents of Franklin Township, should be commended for it, and I thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, can I get a motion to close the second public portion for any comments or questions?
Make a motion to close, second portion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to go into closed session?
Do we need to state what?
A motion to
It's on
close.
it's on the resolution
Okay.
really passed.
I'm trying to find it, that's all. Make a motion to go into closed session.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'll say that's a yes. Can I get a motion to go into public session?
Make a motion to go into public session.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve resolution 14320, approving, what's that? Okay, I'm sorry. 143-20, approving memorandum of agreement for the superior officer's contract subject to drafting and approval of final contract language.
Make a motion for
14320.
14320.
Second?
Barb?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Flame? Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion for resolution R 14420? Approve, accept the resignation of Judge William Golden, effective 12/31/20.
11, or 10/31.
What'd I say?
You said 12.
12.
He's not gonna come in after that.
All right, well, we'll pick up after a couple weeks that he's not here. 10/31/20 for Newfield and Franklin Joint Court. 14420.
For 144-1.
Second?
Barb?
Mr. Deegan?
Yes,
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Ms. Flame?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion for resolution 14520, appointing John Armano Jr. as judge of Franklin Joint Court, effective 11/1/20, and Newfield Court.
Make a motion for our,
14520.
thank you, 145-20.
Second?
Oh, I can't stay with the numbers.
Mr. Deegan?
I'm very happy to vote yes.
Mrs. Pesh Wilson?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
I
Ms.
just
Flame?
wanted clarification that it is to fill the unexpired term, correct?
Yes.
All right, and I'm a yes, Barb, thanks.
I'll say yes.
All
Before
right.
you says yes.
Oh, did you say yes?
Not until you were done.
I thought she asked you.
She did, but
It's
then
all
we
right.
cut her off.
Oh, I'm sorry, Barb.
She got it.
That's all.
Don't go, Barb.
My head is.
We're all yeses, Barb.
Get it?
All right, can I, and introduced by title, ordinance 01120, land sale?
And for the record, that is land sale for block 4819, lots 1 through 9, and block 4820, lot 9, by title tonight.
Make a motion for 011-20.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Get a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Blowing up, I still
Aye.
can't move the line.
Thank you for coming out.